Good morning, everyone. Grand Rising to one and all. Happy Sunday. Put a one in the chat if anyone can hear me. All right, that's good. That's good. Well, happy Sunday once and all, one and everybody. Um, Welcome to my channel. You're on Temper Time, and today I just want to talk a little bit about truth and consequences and the reality. As you could see, my title today is basically bullies and accountability. And I want to talk to you guys about a few things. And, life is a reality. So I only will bring what is real. And a question I always ask myself, I could put it to the chat. Um, what some of you guys think really is power? What is real power? Let me see if I could get some opinions from some of you. What do you think is real power? Hey, Sudden. Hey, Auntie Leah. Hey, Brian. Thanks for coming through. Well, for me, real power is understanding your responsibility. Real power is understanding who you are and your dominance. And in this life, it's so easy to use power to manipulate, you know, use power to sow seeds of discord. You could use power in so many good ways and, so many negative ways. And one thing I understand in this life, it is really easy to do bad, but it's so easy. I mean, it's so easy to do bad, yeah, but it's one of the hardest things is it's hard to do good. And I find that to be problematic because it shouldn't be hard to do something good. It should be actually the opposite. It should be hard to do something bad. But we living in this world today and we see where anything counts and but as a positive mind, you have to understand that these things do come to mind. And a good question to ask is why have we conditioned ourselves? And in conditioning ourselves, why have we left out accountability? Hey, John, hey, Sudden. But hey, Martha, but that's the reality. Where's the accountability? Because, actions have reactions. So there must be an accountability, as simple as, maybe walking outside without something to protect the sole of your foot. There's a possibility something could puncture you, but at the same time, putting the shoe on is a mental awareness, and it's also the fact that you want to be prepared. So if we allow these things to display in our lives in such a dramatic way, as simple as making decisions, why is it so hard to wield this power in a positive way? Why is it so hard to lead by example? What is it? What is it about leadership that is so hard? I mean, clearly, if we can't lead our lives, we shouldn't be trying to lead someone. Clearly, if we are dysfunctional, we should not be trying to give advice. So actions are reactions, and today I just want to talk about, where is the accountability? Um, we also heard that, kind words turn away anger, grievous words stir up wrath. We all know that at the end of the day, when we look at what's happening around us, we even with on this app, we have to ask ourselves, is it a reason it's happening? Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, a lot of people live in a delusional world where you say what you want, you do what you want, and hey, It's all good. But there's something called accountability, and that's something we don't really look at. So it questions a lot. It questions a lot of stuff. It brings a lot of reality to mind, as in who are you as a person? Who are you as a character? It also shows, the presentation of you as an individual. And the main reason I talk about power, one second, guys. What's up, Auntie?
Grand Rising, everyone. Can you hear me, Tiffany?
You're breaking up.
Nothing. Just
Breaking up a
working
little.
while I'm listening into your wisdom. Hi, everyone. Grand Rising, everyone. I know you. I don't know why you were too a little bit. Maybe it's just my connection. I'm on the
All
right.
right.
Yeah, I'm on Google Chrome. Hi, Martha. Hi, Southern. Hi, John. Can you guys hear me? Put a one in the chat. If you can hear me, put a two in the chat. Temper, is my connection still horrible?
No,
Oh, wait a
you
minute.
coming
Might
through
be my
pretty clear
microphone.
now.
Okay, cool. All right, keep going. I'm just listening. I'm on the stage to support.
Yeah, so for me, Andy, basically what I'm saying is, as an individual, you have to be, first of all, to understand anyone stuff. First of all, you have to understand yourself, and being able to identify vices in this world. I mean, it is a positive thing to be able to do that, because understanding, just as simple as being able to read the sign that says, "Hey, wet floor, hey, peligro, danger." Um, that's something, that could save you. But not understanding vices right now is what's cramping a lot of people, and living in a toxic world where people go through all the ifs, the ands, the buts, and the maybes. It's already enough BS out there to keep the world going
Right.
as it is. It's enough. But when we, as content creators, have this opportunity to be able to present something to a people, um, we should be mindful of what it is we're doing. We should be mindful of the power we hold, and we should be mindful that what it is we present to people actually makes a difference or it doesn't. And with that in mind, if it is something, positive you want to bring to the table, then that's all good. But what we have here right now
Right.
is, beliefs on accountability. And for some reason in this life, everyone seems to forget that actions bring reaction. Negative does not bring positive, and positive does not bring negative.
Thanks.
So it seems to me that
Agreed.
identifying some of these things right now, some of these narcissistic traits, because that's what they are, is very important, because as content creators, we have the power to weaponize viewers. We have the power to spread misinformation. In other words, we play a role in people's lives. And at the end of the day, when you know what it is that you do, then you are and will be held accountable, because that's what it is. So that's just some of
Right.
the things I wanted to talk about and bring to a reality, because there is something called a hypocrite in life. There is
What's
something
that?
called, yeah, there is something called hypocritical thinking. And when you're dealing with the masses, you got to understand that you're dealing with all kinds of mindsets. So at the end of the day, what I find hypocritical is the fact that today you want to give me water, but tomorrow I can't get none. Today you want to talk garbage, but now tomorrow you want to talk about cleaning up the
Mm-hmm.
garbage.
Right.
So these some of the things I kind of identify with, and it's
You
a
got to
lot
give us
of
an example.
narcissism.
An
All right,
example.
an
Give us an
example of
example without names, because what we don't want to. Yeah,
okay,
of this type of uh,
of
narcissistic
behavior.
behavior. Um, one day you're, yeah.
Okay, you will see
You
within
don't
this.
have to say any names because we're not trying to stir
No,
pots.
I'm not about calling names, but I am about calling out actions and seeing it as it is. But at the end of the day, if you wanna present healing, if you wanna present
Mm-hmm.
positive thinking, if you wanna present um content that invigorates the mind, you know, because like I say, the world is full of enough out there. If you want to do this, if this is your what you want to bring to the people, fine. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
don't be a hypocrite and talk this mess today, and then tomorrow present yourself as a different
Mm-hmm.
character. Because these are the narcissistic traits that are a sense of entitlement, a sense of
Yeah.
grandiosity, the chronic need for attention. And even if this chronic needs for attention means you putting down someone else all to make you as a person feel better. And all this within content creating, all this sparks chaos. But we don't want to be held accountable when we see the actions flip off on the other
Yeah.
side. So these some of the examples I'm talking about, Auntie. The fact that we're doing what we're doing,
Gotcha.
but when it happened, when it all flipped back on the scene, why this happened to me? What did I do to deserve this?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to accountability, why doesn't want no one want to be held accountable for actions? So that's what I was really looking
That's an
at.
excellent question. That's an excellent question.
Yeah. So I kind of wonder if it's kind of a dumbed down thing because or is it integrity is only some of the way
Okay.
or halfway? Or is it hard, or is being a person of integrity complicated like the English language? When you say when people can say, "Oh, I dead late," or "I dead
Mm-hmm.
tired," or when the house burning down, we actually saying the house burning up. Is it that complicated? It is a good question to ask. Is being good, being a real person, that complicated? I guess it's all
No,
about the.
it's
I guess
not
it's all.
to me. I don't know why it is to some individual.
And
In
these
my
things,
opinion, it takes less energy.
yeah, it really does. It does. Like you have to train yourself to hate. You have to train yourself a certain way,
Yeah,
but naturally it doesn't come off like that. So when
it's,
it comes to
I agree, nephew.
I'm
It just takes a lot of energy to be negative. It
yeah,
takes. I think I got a delay. That's why it seems like we're trying to talk over each other. It's my fault, guys. We have a delay. But let me know when you're done with your points, and then I'll tap in. Okay.
go through, Annie, go through. I was listening, go through.
No, what I was saying is it takes a whole heck of a lot more energy to be evil and mean than it does to be good. Actually, being good or doing good deeds or just being good, period, it just has a rewarding feeling in my opinion. I feel good when I am treating others good. I feel horrible when I'm in a mean state of mind. So I try really hard not to get into that state of mind because one, it zaps me, right? It zaps me of my energy. Two, afterwards, I feel hurt someone. And so then that's a lot of energy that I'm giving into a negative situation. And the harvest is basically negativity coming back to me. So I definitely understand what you're saying. I'm done.
Yeah, I was looking at John. Look, John's
Nick's
come.
back stage
All
keeper.
right. Okay. What's up, Nick? What's up, Top
Hey,
Grand
Nick.
Rising?
Grand Rising.
You on mute, Nick?
We can't hear you, Nick.
Sorry for the
Oh,
noise. Hello.
hey, Blessed Rising. What's up? You
Can't
good?
hear you, Nick. Or is it just me that can't hear?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Auntie Leah?
I,
Hello,
I
hello.
can hear you,
Hear
Nick.
you now, sister. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. I'm apologies for my tardiness. I had to go to bed just for a little bit. And it was so lovely. It was so
I know,
lovely.
right? What is,
And my alarm went off. My
yeah.
snooze has been going off for a good hour or so. So it's a miracle that I woke up.
Really?
Well, I figure you was getting those
Exactly.
Z's.
I was. What was it? So it's 12. Yeah, it's 12:47 a.m. now. Yeah.
All right, well, you ain't missed too
Wow.
much, Nick. Just
Okay.
basically talking about, what is power, what is
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, what is
Mm-hmm.
accountability, and how it's so strange to see that, as grown adults, we seem to be missing these key factors right now. We seem to forgot that if you put your hands in fire, you're gonna get burned. You know?
Yeah, but yes, and but at what stage are you a grown adult? At what stage in your life are you actually grown?
Now that is an awesome question.
Just
Not
because
Nick
you're
with the
legal doesn't
wisdom.
mean you're grown.
Right. So I guess it's
Say that one
the
more time. Yeah.
Nick, you gotta ring that off again.
Say that
Just
again,
because you're
Nick.
legal doesn't mean you're
Just
grown.
because you're what?
Just because you're legal,
It doesn't
no,
mean you.
it doesn't mean you're grown.
Yeah, because
Go on.
I want to say I was having a conversation earlier and I was able to say one or two things, but when it comes to the mind, it's the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the mindset of the individual.
Yeah.
And to be honest, dealing with mindset is basically where we are right now because we could see some messy mindsets, we could see some dirty mindsets, we could see some all about the dragon mindsets. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you will be held accountable.
Of
At the
course.
end of the day, you are responsible for the
That's right.
seeds you sow. Whether they grow here, there, a little over there, or everywhere, you are responsible. But accepting responsibility seems to be the new no right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, this applies to me. This applies to everyone here. And it's an
Everyone.
interesting
Everyone.
battle. Yep, it's an interesting thing when you have to face it and you're not oh, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. So if if you have to be accountable for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to apologize for anything, which comes with being accountable, right? Sometimes In order to apologize for something, you have to accept something first. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
accept that you're accountable first. And if you don't agree, or you're not agreeable with the with accepting it, then you don't deem yourself accountable. Therefore, no apology can be forthcoming. Yeah.
You're right. And you know, let me just read comment. John comment said it takes practice. None of us are perfect. Every day just gotta remember about God's grace. It's a wonderful gift. And that's another thing I question too, John. Like for the way we maneuver and the way we carry ourselves, the way we present ourselves, knowing that we're not seeing a face, but it's the words out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at it, I doubt these people pray.
Mm,
I doubt
yeah.
these people say thank you, Lord, for another day. Thank God for life.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
And you know what's the sad thing about getting back to what you just said, Nick? It's a lack
Mm-hmm.
of empathy. It's a lack of empathy
Yeah.
because that's one of the telltale signs of narcissism. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no one is in control of their feelings. No one is in full control of their emotions. And to me, when you could weaponize or do something and you know it's a rip at the other person, but when
Mm-hmm.
they give you that tit for tat, that butter for fat,
Yeah.
yeah, because not because you tap me on my shoulder, that means I'm coming to tap you back on your shoulder. I could
Mm-hmm.
come with a piece of 2x4 and knock you out because you
That's
you
right.
you bothered me first. So
Yep.
it's the lack of empathy for me,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you did what you did, but it's like you don't want to expect a repercussion, and if you
Mm-hmm.
do, it's a problem.
Yep.
It's another thing again. You don't want to accept responsibility. You don't want to accept accountability.
Yep.
And to me, that is the hardest thing right now. So you made a fool of yourself in front of your. I'll use a content creator. You didn't use your power to make a fool of yourself. The responsible thing is to just own up to what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the chronic seeking of
Mm-hmm.
admiration, you won't do it because if creating chaos allows you to play the victim, these things just don't go away like that because it
Yeah.
becomes
Yeah.
even more grandiosity. And that's why I say identifying these narcissistic traits is so important because you have a power. You have the power to choose. And like I say, every day, the world full of BS. I shouldn't have to come on here and hear it too. I shouldn't want to come and partake in that too.
Yep. That's right. That's right. I don't want to partake in it either.
Yeah. So for me, it's all about if you really live in a good life, it should show. If you really live in a good life, it should show.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Oh, where did Temper go? Temper threw himself out. We're running the show now, Auntie Leah. Auntie.
I hear
Fun.
you. Yeah. He'll be back. He probably got kicked out. You know how they do us.
Yeah,
You know,
he's back. He's back.
we're always the target. I'm wondering
Yep.
if what. Thank God for that. Welcome back, Temper.
Wow. I thought I stole from the church just now.
You out?
Yes. But you know what I feel and see, I see a lot of manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of conditioning ourselves, and I just see the no fear of consequences. So that's
Yep.
what that's what I'm seeing, and I feel it's very horrible to actually, if you sit down and listen to people talk about what's going on in this app right now, you ain't gonna hear nothing good. You ain't gonna hear nothing good. The majority of the times you hearing, oh, it's a bunch of black people ripping down each other. Oh, it's a bunch of black people
Agreed.
tearing down each other. And it brings me right back to something Pac said. Give them powers, step back, and watch them annihilate each other.
Mm-hmm.
Give them something positive. I reverse it now. Give them
Yep.
something positive and watch them drop the ball on the floor and walk away.
Yep. Weird.
Yeah, so why so
Extremists, it doesn't really have a great connection.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. This Wi-Fi system on my end been, I don't know, been doing all kind of banana splits lately.
Banana
Sometimes the
splits.
TV disconnects. Yeah, sometimes the TV disconnects and all the phones are connected and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's the opposite. You see that too, eh, Martha? Yeah, but I see it as well. But I understand that because of the love of money, and I ain't knocking it because you need money to get what you need in life, but because you love it so much that you're willing to manipulate for it, lie for it, hey Golden Aura, belittle for it, slander for it. Well, that's the problem. Because when you do these things, you're not adding to the table.
Yep.
You're not adding to the table. You are actually the foundation of a hypocrite because that means just how you present yourself, this is your life. You
Yep.
present salacious BS, that's because your life is about salacious BS.
Mm-hmm.
You are who you are. Even though people say you are what you eat, no. I mean,
Right.
for me, you are what comes out of your mouth. By the fruit, you know them.
That's right. Yep.
And with my eyes see the real lies, and I just come to just speak out on it a little today because hypocrisy is
Okay.
real.
So
What's up?
I don't know. What's up?
I thought I heard some Anelia gonna say something.
That was Auntie Leah. She's, I don't know what's going on there with Auntie Leah.
I agree.
She's at, oh, she must be lagging.
Yeah, she said she had a small
I
lie.
think I am. I think I'm a drop down and come back.
All right.
All right. Yeah, but you know what is a safe assessment, Nick?
What is it? Tell
You
me.
know it's a very safe assessment
That
to
was a
say.
Ray.
All right. You ever had saying birds of a feather flock together?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I think it's kind of clear of that because if that's what you want, you can get it. If that's
If
what
you,
you want, you can get it. Yeah, it's
yeah.
enough. It's enough people out there to make it up.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah, that's true. But there's all these different camps of birds.
I, as long as it isn't a 5-foot bird.
No, no 5-foot bird.
As long as it isn't one of
Sounded like
those,
a
I'm good.
yeah. No, there's no 5-foot bird. Um, but there's just all these. I'm just gonna do birds of a feather as different lines of thinking. Um, and there's a lot of that out there, and it's contagious. some more
Very,
thinking.
almost
And
like a bird call.
yeah, and it doesn't allow for free thinking. And that's the part I don't like. Or that's the part it assumes. There's a lot of assumptions out there about, flocking and thinking.
Uh,
Oh my God. Sorry. I didn't know it was this funny when I woke up.
but but what is another thing that identify within this confinement neck? Even though we have a responsibility to the viewers to lead and
Mm-hmm.
exhibit leadership qualities,
Yep.
um, you know what I'm starting to see, and I hate to knock the nail on the head, but I starting to see that mental awareness
Mm-hmm.
is definitely needed.
Oh, for sure. And Tempo, Auntie Lee is backstage. If you could let her up, please.
I didn't even notice on it. I have it now. I haven't a lie because it says it says showing three people
All
on
right, I'm
screen.
back. I hear you guys.
Oh, that's better. Can you hear us? Like, is there a lag?
Say something, Annie. I don't sense one.
I hear you.
All right.
Okay, sounds good.
I do hear you.
All right, I think we're good. Um, so can you say that again,
Mia.
Tempo? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just
I think
saying,
we're good.
having a responsibility to the viewers, because being in
Mm-hmm.
this
I said I
position,
think we're good.
yeah, I can hear
Yep.
you. I can hear you clear, Annie.
Yep. We're good.
Hey, Leah, what's up? Like I was saying, being in this position, it's like holding a mic in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the responsibility to lead and exhibit leadership qualities, it is
Mm-hmm.
on you. Um, when you have so much amount of subscribers looking or coming to your channel, I mean, you have that power. It is something about you. Now, like when I was saying birds of a feather flock together, well, if you's a messy, nasty person, well, the world have a lot of messy, nasty people.
Yep.
It's full of them. So if that's your corner, then go in that corner, stay in your
Mm.
corner. But at the end of the day, real people do real things. At the end
Yep.
of the day, real eyes see real lies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So within that, I will do my due diligence,
Mm-hmm.
not to lead people astray, not to weaponize chats,
Yep.
not allow the riffraff to control me,
Yep.
not to bring my life, or if I have drama in my life, to bring it on here.
Yep.
I don't need that type of traction. And
No, who does?
yeah, I mean, you got to do these type of things, Nick. To me, you're desperate.
Yep.
Your life has no integrity. You have
That's.
no morals. You have no standards.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes straight across the board. You don't.
But it's deeper. It is deeper than that. We do hear around YouTube that it's not that deep, but but I
Take us a
find
foot deeper, Nick.
I find everything very deep. And maybe that's what the difference is. But um, you know, it's very hard. It's very hard when your line of thinking has been developing for um for a long time. You become not narrow-minded, but you become, I don't know. It's very hard to change someone's mind when you're not open-minded, even though you might think you're open-minded. But if you can't see another side to something, then you're not open-minded anymore. You know
Right. And you know what is a serious reality, Nick? Would
what's
you
that?
believe, that saying that children live what they learn?
Yep. Yep. Yes.
I
Yes.
kind of
Exactly.
I kind of see that. within these adults,
Yeah.
within this life. I kind of see that because I do understand that,
Yeah.
ain't everybody had that perfect upbringing, but at the same time, you as an individual have the power to make a right about turn within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the analyzation is you looking at a bunch of hurt children that grew up to be adults and they still carrying on the process. The same bullying in school, the
Yeah.
same being a loudmouth, the same being the nuisance,
Mm-hmm.
being the troublemaker. It's the same process. Hurt people, hurting people.
And yes, and there's another one. It's an oldie but a goodie, but so am I. Empty vessels make the most noise.
Say it again, Nick.
Empty vessels make the most noise.
And they really do.
They do. They're hollow. If you bang on them, they make a lot of noise. If it's full, it doesn't make so much noise. It's dull.
Now,
You're right.
Nick, I can't just let you just say that statement and not explain. Go deeper into it. What do you mean empty vessels make? I get it, but it might be somebody in the
All
chat
right.
that doesn't
Well,
really.
okay. Okay. Oh God, and Martha's throwing out nature versus nurture into the chat. So if you think about a water tank, if you bang on it and it makes lots of noise, it means that it's empty. If you bang on it and it doesn't really make much noise, it means that it's full of water.
Okay.
So empty vessels. we'll just translate vessels to people because we are vessels. We are a vessel. We are a we have a perimeter. We contain liquid. We're 75% water. We are a vessel. There's all sorts of things inside of us. There's a soul. There's so we're a vessel. And I guess if you're I don't know what part of the human vessel that would be empty. I guess it could be the heart, it could be the mind, it could be the soul.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If these things are empty, they might make a lot of noise.
Well, I could put it to actuality now. Since you didn't give us that one, Nick. Let me take it to reality. Watch this. Some of these same people who will come in the chat, flapping their gums, busting up their teeth in their mouth, cutting up their tongue. You give them the opportunity to hit the link.
Right.
The link gonna go clink clink because nothing's happening. They ain't coming up.
They're not coming.
They're not coming up. And even if they came up, Auntie Leah, the BS that's gonna spew out of their mouth, you're gonna wonder, okay, did you go to prep school, brother or sister?
Something.
Like, was education in your resume at all? Because the mentality that they would protrude on the chat or with the things that would come out of their mouth, it makes you realize, like, wow, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me. Wow, what an individual.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the sad part about it is we could take it and draw it right down. If you are this messy person, who wants to be in a relationship with you?
Nobody.
No doubt. No doubt. Single with this type of attitude, no doubt you single. No doubt you can't stay in a relationship based on your attitude. I mean, you could really look at who people are and just draw them straight down the line from A straight down to Z. And it's like, you ain't missing a letter because facts don't lie.
You ain't missing a letter.
You ain't missing a letter. Facts don't lie. Because when you could bring your business into your personal life into YouTube, okay, that means you have no boundaries. Straight across the board. No boundaries.
Yeah, that's a really good call. I like
No
that one.
boundaries. Like, if I have a
Yeah.
problem with you, Nick, I ain't coming on YouTube to I
Mm-hmm.
ain't into that. If I have a problem with Auntie Leah, I ain't coming on YouTube, blue, 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 Auntie Leah, blue, 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 blue.
Right.
The Bible teach you certain things, and I so sorry they take the Bible out of certain people's lives, and some people literally exclude it out of their lives. But even within the Bible, Christ show you that if you have a problem with your brother,
Yep.
Go to your brother.
go to your brother
Yep.
and work that problem out,
Mm-hmm.
and then have a free heart to praise your God. Because why? You ain't being held down by this. This isn't weighing on your conscience. And that is the mature way to deal with a situation. So when I see you exercise this type of behavior for the simple things, I can look at you and see, I could imagine if his wife says something to him or if his girlfriend says something to him, he's going to tell all his friends.
Yeah.
He's going to do this. He's going to, and you can actually line it up because it is what it is. Facts just don't lie.
Facts don't lie, people do.
Yeah. So even within life, integrity plays a role. Common sense plays a role. What is
And
power? Power is understanding right from wrong. That's real power.
That's right. And it applies in every area of your life too.
Yeah.
In your
You
work.
wouldn't just walk out your house naked, Nick.
What'd you say?
You wouldn't just walk out your house naked.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So
that's
if you got
right.
the common sense to do that, like why does it exempt from other things? Why does it exempt from real life issues?
I don't know, but people have fascinated me my whole life, and when you're quiet, and if you don't talk a lot, you can observe a lot, and I used to prefer to hang around the adults because I preferred the conversation when I was little.
Right.
I didn't like the foolishness of my fellow children. That sounds very stuck up or something, but my brain was a bit more, no, I don't want to play with the dolls. No. I want to hear what they're talking about over there.
Yeah, and I guess at least for me, I never like hanging around young people. That was never my thing. I young, you young, we going through the same phases. You ain't overcome. I ain't overcome. What could you teach me?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's and thank you for the quick summary. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, like that was me from growing up. Like you'll find me around the elders, people with a walking.
Yep. You there, Temper?
Oh no, they might try to kick him out again. You know how they do us, Nick?
Yeah, I know.
Awful.
Yeah.
Why did my mic mute up just now?
It muted, did it?
Yeah, on
Wow. Well, this is your channel, so the only one that can mute you is you.
Crazy.
But my hands aren't even on my phone. My hands are basically on the side of my head.
Is the sun up?
Yeah, the sun is up, Nick.
Okay, so
definitely some weird stuff going on YouTube.
But I had to I had to make sure that there wasn't other weird stuff going on first.
But Auntie Leah, based on what you said just now, you're right. Because if like it almost like the crab pen syndrome. I catch crabs, and when we catch the white crabs, we can't put them in the same pen as the black crabs. To be honest with you, we can't. And the reason is simple. the black crab spider only grows so big. Their bodies are only so wide. The
Mm-hmm.
white crabs, their bodies are bigger, their claws are bigger,
Mm-hmm.
especially that
Mhm.
main claw.
Yep.
And what they would do is they would take that claw, that big claw, and crack the backs of the other crabs.
Oh,
Yeah, he would take his big claw and crack their back. But
inside the trap.
Mhm.
yeah, inside the trap, or even as you catch them, let's say if you going out tonight, you see some black crabs and you see that good, you be like,
Yeah.
if that's your decision
All right.
tonight, you're gonna catch those ones, but you
Let
just
me
don't
ask.
want to catch them both.
Mm-hmm.
You say talk, Annie.
Mhm. Let me ask you. I think that someone already asked this question, but I want to know, what do you think make people personalities this way? Is it
Well,
something
that's
that may have happened in childhood, or just like what Temper said, something that they were taught, or was it some sort of trauma that they endured and never healed from? What do you all think? Give me some examples. Chat,
Well,
you
I,
can also chime in,
yeah, you could
please.
chime in, chat.
'Cause I
Um,
just don't get it.
well, like I was saying, Auntie, the mental awareness, like if you're a mature person, you
Hmm.
would understand the need to
Hmm.
understand. And so I'm saying this on the level as
Hmm.
if you're talking to someone that's broken, like you have the need, you have that greater maturity or that wisdom to understand that, hey, this person needs help, or hey, I'm going to listen, I'm going to reach out to this person. But to answer that question, I
Yeah.
feel as though it's because of unresolved issues, whether it's daddy issues, mommy issues,
Right.
no
Yeah.
parent issues,
mm-hmm.
whether it's foster home issues, whether it's actually going through a trauma
Hmm.
when they were younger.
Yep.
And it doesn't even have to be nothing detrimental, but kids do the
Yep.
darndest things here and there,
And I
now
think,
and
yeah.
in the present, and now and in the past. So you'll be surprised to know the mind frame of some of these adults as
Mm-hmm.
when they were children, how they start to see the world and view the world.
Yep.
And to put the cap on it, the
Hmm.
Bible says there's an understanding, or there's a way that seems right, but such is the way of death. Well, for some people,
Hmm.
doing what they're doing seems so fine and good, but it's only until they run into that brick wall. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that
Yeah.
brick wall is the wall of
Agree.
correction to give you the opportunity to change your ways. And then sometimes the brick
Mhm.
wall is just your stop.
Do,
That's the end of you. You had your time. It's over.
do you
Yep.
want to hear a Do you want to hear a little life story about brick walls and me?
Go right ahead. Next shoot.
All right. After
Hmm.
my first relationship breakup, I went out with the breakup person and some other people and got very intoxicated because I was so upset. And I literally ran
Hmm.
into a brick wall and broke my nose. Literally, because I was too intoxicated to be. To, I had I had no business being on my feet at all, right? And we went and played laser tag, and it's dark, and you run and you shoot people. I mean, pow pow with a laser tag thing,
Hmm.
and and um and I remember running on a 45-degree angle, and then I remember people peeling me off the floor, right?
Hmm.
In a pool of my own blood, and that was a wake up call. That was a that was the literal
Hmm.
brick wall because it was solid.
Hmm.
It broke my nose and broke my watch, and that was my wake up call to myself to say, what are you doing?
Hey,
Come on
Ma.
now.
What's up?
I had to get knocked out to get woken up.
Okay.
Hey,
But Nick,
Ahmad.
that's in my heart.
Hi,
But that's a
Golden.
reality. That's a serious reality when you could break that down in the real terms. Now, like if you allow too much things to get in your head, it could, allow you
Yep.
to run yourself up. We call it run yourself up on brakes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And John just said she didn't nose the time because I broke my nose and my watch.
Hey, but you know them type of hurt is hurt the most though. Because when
Oh
you think,
yeah.
because
Now
you
when?
realize how much power you moving with.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I couldn't leave the house for over a week because I looked like somebody beat me up, but I beat myself up with that wall.
Wow.
Mm. Oh, it's all right, John. And if you can't laugh at yourself, well, you got no business laughing at anyone else, really.
That's
now,
right.
now, speaking of some weird shit, Nick.
Yep.
Oh, that picture, that video you sent me. This is a little off topic, but that video you sent me. God knows what are all those sounds. I listened to that like 15 times, and I'm like, what the hell?
What did I
Are,
send you?
are all of those sounds wildlife in the
Oh,
morning?
my video.
Yeah, all the ribbits and the rrr and the rah and the who and the we and I was like, until here, if you hear the amount of animals that you can hear sounding off in the morning, it's like, what the heck? I ain't getting outside. No, bro. I good. I good.
Right.
You could hear the hoo wee and the hoo ha, and you could hear the lion
That's
roar,
them.
and you could hear the
That's the
bear
animals
growl.
always wake up worshiping God.
I've never heard that type of ambience before,
The
though. It's
animals,
like
we can learn a lot from the animals. That's the first thing they do is praise God.
I give you a prayer. I give you an applaud on that, honey. And it's so sad that the animals are smarter than us.
They're way
Exactly.
smarter than us. And
It's
they
so
try
sad.
and look
Smarter
after
than
us.
us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
First thing they
They
do.
Yeah, they try and look after us. You know,
Yeah.
they know what's up.
And the first
And
thing
that's
the
the
birds
thing.
do is start singing a praise song.
Well, all right. Let me
Yeah. In my
um
opinion.
Yeah,
let me see.
I love to hear that type of
Go ahead and
chirping
play
in
it.
the
Can you play
morning.
it, Nick?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get it. Just gonna find it. Right, here we go. And it was very cold.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Leah, you asked me a question. I just see it. What do I think about all of that? Well, to me, what I think about it, I think, to be honest, it's just back to what I was saying. Um, the crab pen thing. I didn't even get to finish it, but the black crabs would literally, when one start to
Mm-hmm.
rise up, they would literally grab his leg and pull him back down.
Wow.
Sometimes he has to literally leave his leg within that
Mm-hmm.
bite for him to get where he's going. So all of the you say and I say, he say, she say, all that BS. Well, that's the reason why things the way it is now, because no one
Mm-hmm.
wants to accept accountability. No one wants to accept responsibility for the BS they've done. They've done.
Mhm.
The seeds of discord they've sown. No
Yeah.
one wants to accept it. And the
Mm-hmm.
punching me and you punching back and all of this wouldn't happen if everyone would just sit down like mature adults
Mhm.
and revamp their strategy, revamp their thoughts, because it goes right back to who you are as a person, how you deal with situations. And for what you show us here
Right.
on this app, that
Mm-hmm.
means this is who you are. Your actions, they under your name. They come from you.
Right.
Yep.
So if you do this,
I
then
agree.
you must know that. Go ahead, Annie.
No. I'm gonna wait till you finish your point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say expect repercussions. This is the real world. Go in the sun too long, you get burned.
Mhm.
Walk in the fire, you get burned. Don't put on your shoes, you might get your foot sole punctured. This is the real world. Actions are reactions.
Well, I've done that a few times too. Stood on a few nails.
Boy, that's
Right.
complete.
Exactly.
Ooh. Oh man, that hurt. That's a lot.
You said a mouthful. Now,
Oh
now
my,
this
oh my God.
he said a mouthful. But
Yeah.
okay, so here's my question to the chat and to the panel.
Mm-hmm.
What do you believe or think that would make people like act this way? I mean, I can think of two things, right? One, jealousy would be one.
Good.
Two, I'm going to say pride.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Pride is a very dangerous and jealousy. My opinion. Those are the two
Mm-hmm.
main reasons why people react this way and also continue to act this way. What do you all think?
Well, I think you hit all the nails that were showing. Only left to do is someone come with the wood glue now. Time to seal them up.
For
But
real, it's just, and then they don't even recognize that they are in this mindset of pride and jealousy. They think that they're warriors. They're thinking that what they're doing is not letting someone bully them, or thinking I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird that someone, and I'm not speaking of any particular person, me included or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
would allow that to continue to go on in my spirit or in my soul, to continue to stay in that behavior instead of backing up, evaluate myself and saying, hey, I don't want to engage in this anymore. It's taking
Yep.
too much of my energy, so I'm just not going to respond. I'm going to just go ahead and move on and talk about something positive.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
And
all think that hinders people from doing this? Because I just don't get it.
well,
yeah.
to be honest,
Go
Auntie,
ahead, Nick.
that's another trait of narcissism. That's called superficiality. The constant
Mm,
need to receive praise and recognition, social media amps this kind of thing. Views, like traction. Um, it's ego.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
It is a big part of it is ego, but that same ego should be toned down because, like I was saying, with great power comes great responsibility. But nobody wants to do that because of the love of money.
mm-hmm,
If
Mm-hmm.
me being straight up right now, if
right,
me being a fool right now means I'm going to make a killing on this app, then
mm-hmm,
it's the love of money that's going to drive me to corruption. It's the love of money that's going to drive me to do the
right,
things I do, which is either walk over my chat, weaponize my chat,
Yep.
um, don't bring to the table, or just be
mm-hmm,
salacious. It is the love of money, and when I check it
mm-hmm,
out, it is evil,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you
yeah,
don't know the power you hold, and you got a whole heap of people just being weaponized by your words.
Yep. Yep.
right. I agree.
So you hit the nail, Annie.
I agree.
Doing these things would mean the fear of losing subscribers, the fear of not being accepted.
Mm-hmm,
But the thing is, when I look at it from
mm-hmm,
that perspective, do you accept yourself? If you have to present this false image of yourself, do you accept yourself? Who are you in real life?
Yeah.
right.
Who are
Yeah.
you?
Yep.
Right. And let
Um.
me ask you this.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. If anybody wants
No,
to go before me,
no,
just
no.
go
You
ahead.
go, Auntie Leah. No need for muting.
Okay. So, not don't mute me yet. I still got my whole 2 minutes. Okay. um, then chat and enabling this behavior, right? So the
Yeah.
party or the individual never realizes that they're in this type of mindset, because you have these members in their chat, right,
Mm-hmm.
praising this type of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is another reason why they never snap out of it. They don't know that they're doing anything wrong. wrong when you have tens of people, I don't know, hundreds of people in the chat telling you that you're doing the right thing and that you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
That's entitlement again. Another trait. That's why for me it's so important to understand that being in this position, I know who I am. Like you said weeks ago, Annie, you know who you are.
And I know who I am.
Yeah, that's something you don't have to dispute, but I don't know outside of me. So before I do the this and I do the that, I can just do what I have to do and just be straight up across the board. But the whole entitlement thing, well, that just feeds into the corrupted character that you are.
Yeah.
And you do become a product of your environment. I could be honest with you.
Yeah, you are what you listen to. You are what you see.
Yeah, you are what you think.
You are what you think, and yeah, it's that inner dialogue. If your inner dialogue is not, if your inner dialogue is not self-aware, then you can't be either.
You know how much hypocrisy I've witnessed on this app within the last month? You know how much living in denial I've seen on this app within the last month? Do you know how much schizophrenic behavior I've witnessed on this app within the last month? It's like, did you go through a time warp or something? Like, did you wake up in World 1 and then when you went to bed and wake up, you were in Mario World 4? Like, what happened? Did you find a warp zone or something?
Right.
How is it how can you be an enabler today and then tomorrow you're not? How could you be a bully today and then cry about lick backs tomorrow? How could you create situations and then freak out when it doesn't go your way? Well, you know what that is? That's the tendency to rage. That's another narcissistic trait. And the raging thing is only the true you are from finding out hidden motives. Make you question your own thought. Like, let me give you an example. I do something to you, Nick.
Yep.
You dead pissed off at me.
Yep.
But when I come back at you, or when you come back at me, know what I'm gonna say? It ain't that deep.
Oh, and that and yeah, and that removes that removes I don't know what from the situation, but it takes the power away from the other person.
Yeah.
That's
it makes you, especially if the person say, Nick, why you don't trust me?
Yeah.
Like, what have I done to not make you trust me? And it makes you have to sit in yourself and be like, well, and then you have to question your own thought. Now you born with yourself, you know yourself. So why are you going to question your thought? I know what you did was wrong, or I know what I did was wrong. So why would I? And see, that's the gas. And see, to me, identifying these devices is so important. To me, it's like being able to read the sign.
Yeah.
Danger. Don't go over there. Trouble. Don't hang with him.
And hearing words like "it's not that deep" makes my stomach knot. And that's how I know that there's something wrong. That it's like warning.
Yeah.
It sets off all sorts of alarm bells in my head. I don't know why. It just does.
And that's a serious reality.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to consequences.
Yep.
Are we willing to take our licks and walk away? No. That's why we have what we have on YouTube today. You come at me today, I go at you this evening. You come at me in the morning, I go at you this evening. Back and forth. Now while the whole world watches.
Yeah. Unless you're willing to wait and go and hide in the sand. then it's over. Yeah.
I agree with you, Mother. I agree.
Right.
We place these mental blocks on our own selves. And thinking about that, they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste,
That's right. And
Mm.
we all have power over our own minds. And if
That's
you
a fact.
if you keep biting back, it's the snake eating its own tail. It just will never stop. So
Nope.
somebody or something has to stop,
Right.
that situation where there's the snake eating its tail.
Yeah.
And sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do. That's my opinion. Sometimes
Yeah, in some situations.
in some situations, some of the time, but not all situations all of the time. Sometimes you have to be the bigger voice. You have to be heard. You have to make sure that whatever you're saying is understood by the shallower waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like his Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, he had a speech that said, it's the indifference of saying something than not saying something,
Mm-hmm,
not silencing the voice of justice.
mm-hmm.
When you have the opportunity to do better, be better, because at the end of the day, this is how evil wins, when good people sit down, say nothing, and do nothing.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yep.
and this is a part of the power we hold right now, and this is why I decided to do what I do, because
Mm-hmm.
if the energy is there, I'm going to give it. Life is about balance. Each one should teach one. Someone taught me, even as a child, someone took the time out to teach me. After listening to what mommy say, daddy say, go to school, I still had to come back and teach myself. So at the end of the day, there's no such thing as no room for self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
It's always room for self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, every minute of every day.
Yeah.
Right.
and
Like
you can only
I don't.
self-improve by educating yourself and absorbing new
Right.
information.
Yeah. Be applicable. Apply yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that's all what my good life is about. Just applying. That's all
yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
and forcing anyone to do something, just to just if you're trying to force someone to do something just to make yourself happy, then it's like the outcome is false.
Mm-hmm.
So if you force me to, I don't know, apologize
Right.
to someone, and I don't believe that an apology is warranted, then I can apologize, but it will be fake.
Yeah, I
Very
understand
sincere.
that.
Yeah.
And it won't be sincere, and then I will be angry at the person forcing me to apologize, forcing me into a position that I don't accept. That's never a good thing. Even when you're when you're a step parent, it applies in so many areas. I could give you a million examples of when you're forced to say something against your will that you don't accept.
Yep.
So that
Even the body language speaks different.
yeah, and even when I was a child, if I was told to apologize for something that I didn't agree with, I would become so resentful. Like I'd be like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm really angry.
Yeah. I looking down and I kicking the rock with my foot and I saying sorry. I sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it. But even in those apologies, Nick, you could tell a weaponized apology too. When
Yep.
someone they pissed you off and they could tell you within the opening line of the apology, I know how it made you feel.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, when you tell me that, it's like you just open up the bees.
Well,
You just open up the bee box.
Yep. Yep.
you know And even with being sympathetic with people, like that's one thing I've learned, and I learned it even when it came down to me, because I always said it's hard for me to tell someone, have my this or have my that, when I've never experienced what they're experiencing. So it was always hard for me to step out of
Right.
my zone and just be that hypocrite, or because everybody's doing it. I can't do that. But until I went through it myself and I understand it, then I know, like, yeah, it isn't easy. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all, is my advice. Like they say, gossip, evil deed, spread cause much unhappiness. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yeah. So if I can't say something nice, or
Mm-hmm.
if it isn't appropriate for me, I just can't do it. They'd be like, "Why you ain't giving me your condolences?" Because I can't. I don't know
Yep.
how to do it.
Yep.
They'd be like, "Yeah, I understand, but you should
Right.
still." I said, "But it's going to be fake. It's
Yeah.
com-
Yeah.
It's coming from nowhere, because I'm just saying words that I expect they would want to hear."
Yep.
But it isn't coming from my heart,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know about this, and that was
Mhm.
always my approach. If it isn't for me, I'm not gonna touch
Correct.
it. If my name isn't on the package, that it isn't for me. That's just how I was. That's just how I move
Wow.
in life.
Yep. Yep.
Right. So with that being said, since we're on something like that, I will never ever apologize to Jane Doe, aka Jane the comment. That's it. That's all. Period.
Mhm.
Subject
Mhm.
closed.
Because
Yeah.
she didn't apply. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all, and
Right.
and that's it.
Exactly.
I,
And it's that simple. So
That's it.
instead of
That's all.
saying it's not that deep, I want to say it's that simple.
yeah, it really, really is.
Yeah.
When you then put your foot in the stand,
Because
and you then put your foot in the sand, and you make your
mhm,
stance, that's you.
That's it.
mm, exactly. Because guys, I
And
do have a conscience. I know when I do wrong. I can tell. It's like
me
the Holy
too.
Spirit lives in me, and you guys may
Hmm.
believe, some may not believe in that. But
Hmm.
when I do something wrong, I know I did something wrong, and I immediately apologize. If I don't get any feeling
Hmm.
of doing something wrong, then I don't apologize, because
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know. Basically what Nick said. Yeah, what Nick said. The, don't ask a question. Don't make a statement if it's not nice. Period. Just don't say
Yep.
anything at all.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
And
because you risk the response. So
yeah, correct. And
go ahead, Nick.
you know, and the other thing I want to add to that is why is it anyone's business? Why do we feel entitled to know the
Mm-hmm.
answers to some of these questions? It's none of our business.
Nick, you better stop,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But this is but if and
Mm-hmm.
this is where I'm gonna buck up again against the anyone saying it's not that deep. Well, everything is that deep. Everything. I'm sorry, but everything is deep. Like, and if
Mm-hmm.
it's not deep, then it's
Mm-hmm.
shallow, and it means that it means to me it means it's not deep in your mind. Not it's got nothing to do with the emotions
Mm-hmm.
attached to it. It it's
You're
the
right, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
it's the philosophy of deep. So
That's
everything
right.
is every single thing that
Mm-hmm.
we do and say and feel and see is deep. Everything.
Yeah. And that's
Uh,
how I could prove, even when me and my boss have a little conversation, the way he would try to come on to me sometimes, um, I'll just let him say what he have to say,
Mm-hmm.
because within the realm of understanding, okay, you want to gladiate in front of the guys. Okay, you wouldn't be the boss if you ain't doing this. So that's just his mental. To be the boss, like, you have to like show you're the boss, act like the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just listen to him and say what he
Mm-hmm.
say, and then he would just, tap me on the shoulder and say, "Oh, don't take it personal." And then I would stop him and say, "But I am a person. What do
mhm.
you mean? Don't take it
Mm-hmm.
personal." But
Yeah.
I am a person. So what do you
Mm-hmm.
mean? He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why you got to do that to me?" I say, "You did it to yourself. I listened to you in a humble way. I accepted your advice and whatever it is you want them to do. But when you disrespect me just now, see, I ain't worrying about what you might say. Man to man, we could take it. But when you could tell me all that you said and then say, I must not take it personally. So must I take it animally, mammally,
Right.
crustaceanally? Should I take it like a fish? Because you're telling me I'm not a person. So who are you talking to? Are you crazy? Did you come over here and talk to the air? Oh, don't take it like that. But I have to correct
Right.
you. I have to correct you because I don't need no one else thinking they could approach me like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for the rest of the apples on the tree, I have to pluck you and kick you on the bottom just to show them I mean business. Well, I apologize. I apologize.
Right.
I say, I don't want you to just apologize because I'm asking you to apologize. I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
from there, we got the best of relationship. Why? I draw the line in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I let you know where I stand. And if you, since you respected that, you showed me that you had some common sense and decency in you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that create a good
Right.
friendship. That's just the same thing like what you were saying. Like some people say, "Oh, it ain't that deep."
Oh God, them's fighting words for me every
You
time.
mash, you
Every
mash my,
time.
you mash my toe,
Every time.
and you could tell me, "Oh, it ain't that deep," but yet I'm the one in pain. My toe is hurting because you mash it. But oh, it ain't that deep. That means you
Yeah.
don't even care to. That means you don't even really want to say sorry.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to apologizing. I've apologized for things all my life when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
When I'm
that's called
wrong.
maturity.
Right. When I'm wrong.
See the word at the bottom? That's being accountable.
Absolutely. And I don't have, yeah. And guys, I don't have to okay, so no one has to tell me when I'm wrong. I know when I'm wrong.
That's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. I feel it in my spirit when I'm wrong.
But you know what?
Oh,
You
it
know
just
what?
hang on.
And I
Huh?
Sorry, Temper. Sorry, Auntie Leah. It just dawned on me. The apology that's being demanded of me is for the wrong person.
Yeah.
I just figured it out because I'm that deep.
Come on, expand.
So the lady with the comment, she doesn't need my apology. It's the one demanding the apology that wants the apology directly to her. That's what it is.
And to answer Leah question or her statement. See, that's the whole thing about it, Leah. Background. The background. See, I don't mind. I don't like I said, you could apologize from here until thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. That don't matter to me. But is how you move afterwards
Yeah.
is where my eyes start to watch. Because I've seen a lot of people say they apologize. I apologize. I was wrong. I was this. But when I look in another chat, they're doing the same salacious BS that they were apologizing about, but they only apologize to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Right.
apologizing to you, that to me, that's still a fake apology because you still aren't being accountable even for the things that you said you were sorry for.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same energy you exhibiting on someone
Right.
else. And I watch it too, Leah and Farm, I watch it too. And I feel as though being evil is almost like a bird call to some people,
Mm-hmm.
like a peer pressure.
Right.
Once you in that crowd, you can't help but be nasty. You can't help but join in on the pulling down or the ripping down.
You're right.
And to me, all I see that is just weakness as an individual. So when you got that type of weakness in you, don't even hit my platform. Don't even hit the link.
Yeah.
I prefer don't even come around, right?
Mm.
Because you being around me is like having a
Right.
bonfire around me all the time. I feel in your heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't about that. So to be honest with you, Leah, that's just how I see it, you know.
Yep.
Backgrounds must be checked on these people. I just can't. Do you accept a
Well,
boyfriend in your life without knowing
I
who he really is?
Yeah.
right.
So I'm just reading the chat.
Exactly.
But even when it comes to people banning this and banning that, like I say, at the end of the day, as a content creator, that
Absolutely
power
not
you
joking
have,
to me. Definitely screaming for it.
yeah, that power you have, it either like they say, absolute power either makes the best of you or it corrupts you. And for
Mhm.
some people,
Yeah.
having a bunch of
Facts.
people saying, we love you, we miss you, we miss you. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough power right there to trip
Uh-huh.
somebody. Yeah, to them, that's absolute power.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the sad thing is?
Yep.
A content creator like that, with that type of instability, if they had the power to have everyone in the world subscribe to their channel, you could imagine how messed up this world would be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Think
Scary.
about it. You have a bunch of messed up people.
Absolutely.
If everybody was
Absolutely.
subscribed to these messy channels in this world, do you know how much trouble we would be in?
Yep. It'd be 28 days later, 28 years later.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
You'll have people victimizing you, and
100%.
the minute you say something, they're gonna play
Mm-hmm.
victim on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the whole reason for this. You know, like I said in the description, we're just gonna follow the bouncing ball and see where it goes. But I feel as though this discussion needed to be had because at the end of the day, I'm not in
I
that
agree.
number. I am not in that number. Don't mix me up with them type of potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mix
Yep.
me. I don't have that in me. I about
Say it again.
garbage. I about the mess. We have enough as a community, as a people. We have enough stigmas on us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
We have enough damaged petals. We have enough of that. And it's about time we start healing and
Yes.
teaching and reaching and being a real support to our people if we so claim we love our people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be like some people who want to put up the sign Black Lives Matter only when things happen. We always mattered.
Everyone matters. Yeah.
We always matter. But it's just the way we treat each other, the way we handle each other, based on the fact that how we handle our own lives is the problem right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I'm going to run away for a minute and make myself a cup of tea.
Yeah, so I'm in the hole earlier for so long. I just wanted to get some things off my chest.
No, I'm coming back. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to mute up and
You're not holding us
just
up.
disappear.
You're not
Yeah.
holding
I'll be
anyone's
back.
up.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm here for it. I had a nap so I could be here for it.
I appreciate that, Nick.
And mind you, that nap was in bed. But
Look, Leah.
I set,
So
I
Leah
set my
said,
alarm.
Golden, due to the continuous bashing from Maggie, is on high alert and took Jane's question on her shoulders.
Yep.
So that was her excuse. That's her excuse because she was getting
No, but
bashed by Maggie.
no. But it's a good perspective.
That's her excuse to behave in that type of way and
No,
blatantly
no,
ignore that question. It ignited a fire,
no.
interrupted my whole life,
But it would be
interrupted
good
my
if
whole chat. That's not an excuse.
it would be good if
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it would be good if Golden could read that comment and absorb that comment and bring it on board so that she gets maybe where this extra pressure is coming from, because you know, I was rewatching. I was rewatching her video when you and I went over to her channel that day, Auntie Leah, and it was interesting to
where I got bulldog. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you got bulldozer.
I was just gonna say where I got bulldozed over. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. And I couldn't even get a word in edgeways, so I dropped down. But I was listening to Nafisa, you know, a bit beyond, you know, after we dropped down, and and she said some really valid things, and I was like, oh damn, I actually left this before I heard those things. And one of the things that Nafisa said is, if you're screaming at someone and telling them to apologise, they won't want to apologise. And I'm like, exactly, Nafisa. That's exactly what's going on. Like, please tell her, please say that louder so she gets it. She's your friend. She's my friend too. But please get that through to your friend, Golden.
Please do.
Please find a way to get her to understand what you're saying, that when you're yelling at someone, telling them that they must apologize. Why won't you apologize? Then, no, you know, it's just not going to happen. You can't force people to apologize against their will, because you're actually damaging any chance of an apology happening ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like self-sabotage on an apology.
Yep.
For the love of God.
But you know what was amazing to me in that situation, watching it unfold, as someone who saw, I caught the replay, but then the aftermath, I was able to see the aftermath.
Yep.
And it still goes back to the fact that, okay, if this is how you really, really, really feel, why can you not? If you have such a drive to be this passionate about the point that you're making, why is it that you cannot see the wrong in that comment? Like, you could see all this right, why you can't see that wrong? Like, it comes right back to the same thing. And to take someone's burden and put it on your shoulder and say, that's mine now. Why doesn't this person come up and step forward? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, when you have the power to backtrack these chats and see the salacious garbage these people were actually saying. See, and that's why I can't do you do this to me today, and I give you the opportunity to do it to me again tomorrow. And see, you got to respect someone's opinion when they are speaking from their experience. Now, the sis was only, when I said, I try not to call certain people's name, but when you have someone literally have said that they know that person and they've seen the things that they've said about them, why can't you understand that that is proof enough for that person to feel the way they feel? Why can't you understand that that is proof enough for that person to say what they say? You have not walked in that person's shoes for the past 4 or 5 years. You have not lived their life. You basically saying some things that could put yourself in confrontation, but at the end of the day, you still doesn't want to accept responsibility of and allow the person to accept accountability for what they've done or for what they said. Because how is it that everyone could read that comment, see it for what it is, except for you? Did you go nose blind? Did you go sight blind? Are you blind to the facts? Or it's just the fact that the need.
It's because it's not about that.
No, because like I say, it goes right back to these weird traits again. The need for attention. Like, that's all I see it as. The need for attention.
And she did come to my channel when Auntie Leah was on the panel to apologise to Auntie Leah, but then things got heated again. So you know.
And the thing about it, Nick,
but she came with the same hashtag. Yeah. Came with the
Yeah,
same
you're right,
gaslighting
Auntie.
techniques. She
That's
I
exactly
kept,
what I going to come with, Auntie.
I snapped.
You must be in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she was just using a lower tone, right? But it was the same message. So this
Yeah.
time I was not going to take it, and yes, I snapped. I said what I said though. But
Yeah.
even after that, I still don't believe I owe anybody an apology. It is what it is. Just like what Golden
Yeah.
Or just said. She came in your chat, Auntie Leah, and threw the spanner in the works. So she needs to apologize to you.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's accurate. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
demanding an apology because I don't care.
Right.
Right? I don't care. But you're not going to keep coming after me and coming to me with this gaslighting technique, trying to make me look bad when I know that I didn't do anything wrong, but responded to a nefarious question, a loaded question that offended somebody that was on my panel. And I wholeheartedly believe that the animosity is not with me or Andy. Her issue is with Jag. But you can't take your issue that you have with Jag and
Yeah.
pour it on me because I'm not happy.
That's the part that, so when I
And
rewatched it.
number two.
Sorry, Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just gonna say number two. You no, it's fine. You cannot demand an apology from Jag either. When Jag was on the panel speaking about something totally different, and all of a sudden this off subject question, which was offensive, pops up, and she responded the way she did because she's always getting trolled. She's always getting attacked. I don't see nothing wrong. I'm sorry, but go ahead, Nick.
I don't know what I was going to say now. Sorry.
We're not talking about Maggie, Leah. Well, Maggie said, Leah said, does Maggie owe Golden an apology for all the slander and hate? I'm sorry, Leah, but we're not talking about the Maggie stuff because we don't want to keep fueling this type of behavior.
No,
and
I know.
sometimes you just have to let stuff go and move on.
Yeah.
And that whole thing right there, that's like between them.
Yeah.
Sorry if I cut you off, Auntie, but I just was saying like the whole situation is between them.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they was friends or not, acquaintances or not,
Mm-hmm.
all they're doing is to me that's just giving them air time. And my time precious. My air and my lungs is precious. It ain't gonna be wasted on that. So all of that to me, whether that bring views or that bring traction, it's still an eyesore within us as a community, as a people, and it's still being looked at. And whether you know it or not, the innocent always suffer for the guilty.
And Leah, I don't think we're making any demands on Golden or anyone.
I don't want to deny about that.
And just after my last live on my channel, Golden recently left an enormous comment. So she can't let it go. I don't perceive any.
But we have to let things go.
Yeah, I don't perceive any demands on Golden.
Let me say this.
Please don't put that in the chat about looking for demand, because I ain't demanding nothing from nobody. And if you need me to say it again, go ahead, Annie.
I'm just going to say that if I had someone on YouTube or any social media platform that's constantly bashing me, that's constantly, saying that they don't want to be my friend, that's constantly telling you, no, I don't want nothing to do with you or me or whatever, I'm going to block that person and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to try to forge or force a relationship with that person who has told the world that they do not like me, that they don't want anything to do with me. I'm only going to ignore that person and I'm only going to move on. I'm going to block out all communication. I'm going to block all their pages, and I'm not going to harbor any hate in me, but I'm just going to simply ignore it. And I don't understand why adults can't do that on this app.
Sorry, I just wanted to address. Sorry, Auntie Leah.
Sometimes you simply ignore it. And then eventually all the yapping, what finally realize is that I'm yapping for nothing because she's not, or he's not paying me no attention.
Yeah.
And they'll change the subject.
And Leah, you've been up on my panel, so we've talked before. What Leah's saying, why aren't we trying to understand Golden's background story? We have to show some understanding. I could do a documentary on what I understand about Golden's background story. This is the difference. Before I make an informed decision in my own brain, I do it based on what I know, and it is that deep. It's always that deep with me. Like this is what I say about me all the time. I am that deep that not everyone wants to swim in my ocean of the depth of my deepness, right? So anything that I say, and this only comes with knowing me for a long time, right? But trust me, I have thought long and hard, and I'm a genealogist. I'm always about the facts and the stories behind the actions all the time, and even the reactions of how people react to things. I really understand. Me personally, Leah, I understand Golden's backstory. And I understand it to the point where I could actually shine a light back on it, because I understand it a lot more now. And Golden may not like what I show her from my understanding of her background story. I'm sorry, that was a lot. But I just said then.
But you know what I was thinking about, Nick? Trouble easy too. Trouble easy to get into, but hard to get out.
Yeah.
The tongue is an unruly evil. But yet without the tongue is like a rudder to a ship. Without that rudder, the ship can't, sail. You could sail, but you can't change direction. But I look at things from a different aspect. It almost like when someone says, "Oh, I can't find a job. Every job I go on, they keep firing me." But when you go and check the background, it ain't just a fire. It could be tardiness all the time. But whatever it is some type of behavior that is built within you that you have to rectify.
Yep.
And this comes right back to account. Do you want to be held accountable for the things you're doing? Do you want to be held accountable for your life? Do you want to be held accountable for your actions? It's either you do or you don't. So the same thing can't keep happening to someone over and over and over. You can't go on every job and get fired for stealing by reason of employment.
Yep.
Like every job you go on, every job you have to, your termination is because of that. So the problem isn't the job. The problem isn't the people. The problem is you. And until we get to that point and sit down and say, you know something, this shit ain't right. It ain't right. I got to make this right. But until then, it is what it is.
And to add to that, guys, every last one of us in this world has a backstory. All of us have experienced some form of trauma. But as you grow and as you get older, most adults, they take control over that trauma. They no longer allow that trauma to take control over them.
Exactly.
So the trauma that I've experienced in my life, a lot of trauma. Okay, it was so tragic that I don't even remember half of it because my mind blocked it out to prevent it from controlling me, to prevent it from hurting me. But I do not allow what happened to me in this life spill over into any other part of my life, if that makes sense. I don't allow it to dictate how I respond to things. Okay, so just because a person has a backstory does not give them an excuse to actually act or behave or respond in a negative way.
And
point blank. I'm not making excuses for that.
No, and that's 100% valid. But Leah, I not Auntie Leah in the chat. Leah
I know.
Leah
I love her
France.
name because she has my name. Ha.
Yeah. I
and I can respect the way she's trying to take up for her friend too.
Yeah. No, look, I understand it, and that's my problem. I understand too much, and I understand all sides, both sides, upside down, inside out. I've got really good understanding of everything, and but that doesn't mean that I can't have a stand on how I feel about it as well. So with Golden, I took up for Golden, and I tried to, I had some mediation between Golden and Archangel, and I was going down the path of looking at the whole Maggie and Golden issue from start to finish, and it this is what I mean. Like I could make it a full on documentary about it all. That's how much I understand it, and I've only grown some new understanding about Golden's backstory in light of what's recently happened. And it's shone brand new light on the beginning of her story that I understand. So this is my brain. My understanding is never ending. I always will. When you're a good genealogist, you go back and you look at the facts that you've already looked at, because sometimes they look different. You miss something that you looked, when you're looking at the birth certificate or the whatever document, the death certificate, you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize. How did I not see on that death certificate that this man had 7 children? How did I not see that the first time? The first 10 times I looked at that document, how did I not see it? And then when you go back and you're a bit calmer and you're whatever, and you're not excited when you're looking at the facts, and you go back and you look at it and you go, wow, okay, I see it now. I see what now. I'm not blind to the facts. I see it for what it is. I see it. Everything's there.
Yep.
So yeah, if anyone wants to challenge me on how I understand something or someone, you've got to fight on your hands, because I'm a genealogist. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Great. I'm getting ready to challenge you on that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can go ahead. You can challenge me anytime.
I'm not messing with you, Nick, with that genealogy stuff.
But I have a unique.
Absolutely not.
Since becoming a genealogist, I have a unique way of looking at life in general. I can't explain this to. I just it's amazing.
You so on point, Nick. But you know what is the amazing thing for me? After watching the seeds of discord, the hate, the malicious intent, the bullying, the doxing, the harassing, after watching all of this go down, right? To turn around and say, well, what did I do? Or, all this is like telltale signs of personality All these is telltale signs of, how you are and as an individual. And my only thing is, I say to all the viewers, if it ain't for you, don't partake.
Yep.
If you about that upliftment, if you about that real life, if you about, yeah. Be accountable to yourself. Be accountable to your own spirit. Be accountable to your own conscience. Be responsible. Because at the end of the day, we are what we think, and like a computer, being an input device, it can only put out what you absorb in. So if you absorb in some negative, then what you're going to be giving out is negative. And life ain't really about that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it, Temper. Don't indulge in it. Don't continuously take it in. Don't continuously run towards the negative. Sometimes you just cut the negative off and just ignore it. Protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs.
Protect your peace at all costs. Absolutely.
Hey, Dishin TVD. I just saw your comment a while ago. Thanks for stopping by. But that's the reality, though. And that's the world we're living in right now. So, ego, narcissism, one accept accountability. Like this is where we are right now. That's why the mess getting messier. We just saw the other day with content creators on one unaliving the other. And how you think it all started just by not understanding the power you wield. A lot of these things we could isolate, nip them right in the bud. Because of the love of money and the lack of mental awareness, we just run for it. It's all good.
Yep.
But then shit. Go ahead, Nick.
Just before anyone else addresses it, I've answered Leah in the comments. I'm absolutely. If you're talking about me,
those couples,
I think you're talking to me. Leah said, "Are you justifying Madgie's abuse on Golden? This will be more content for Madgie. I worked in legal aid for 15 years too, and I view things from a certain angle too." Yeah. So Leah, absolutely not. No, definitely not justifying Madgie's.
No. What we literally discussing is, like the thing say, police and accountability. We talking about when actions have reactions, and you want to be a hypocrite and act as if there is no spill, there's no spill back, there is no blowback. Living this life, going through every day, doing the nonsense you're doing, and not expecting a pinch. And within the same aspect, we live our everyday life same way.
Again.
Go ahead, Annie.
Right. Well, you know what? Again, Nick and Temper and chat, I'm going to redirect the deflection that's going on in the chat back to the topic that we were speaking about. I'm going back to the content creators that were unalived. Okay, same thing happened in my chat. That's what we were talking about, and deflection came. So I'm about to redirect it. I just want to say that just even one part is, I think it was a wife and husband and wife, beef going on online for years, right? If only one of those couples just would have said, "We're not going to respond no more. Block it. Block them. We're not going to respond anymore. We're going to move on."
Yeah.
No one would have gotten on the party, would have gotten tired of getting no response, and would have moved on.
How many times?
Nobody's justifying. Nobody's justifying the abuse that the owl is putting out there towards anybody. But what I am saying is we as an adult, we got the decision to just ignore them, cut them off. They're on the internet. They're not in your face. They're not neighbors. They're not in your neighborhood. They're not even in your country or state. Ignore.
Yeah.
Block them.
And how many
your response?
Yeah.
Starve them out.
Pay them dust. How many times, Auntie Leah, do you hear me say, don't bite back. Don't bite back. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Right. You
say
have
it a
to
lot.
tell me sometimes, Leah, don't say it. Don't say it, Leah. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, don't
and I'm
just
like,
let it go.
okay.
Yeah, and it's really hard, and it takes a lot of self-control, and this is the other thing. It's about self-control, and if you can't master controlling yourself, then what are you doing out there in the world? Anything that you're doing is on a little bit of a level of out of control, like riding down a hill with a bicycle with no brakes. I don't know. I just
somebody
like
has to be the adult in the situation. Honestly,
I like to master myself in self-control. Like it's like this is going to sound weird, and I don't always win, but I try to control I try to think before I speak. I try to think before I react.
mm-hmm.
And it's a real, I don't know, it's a fun little game I play with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a private game with me, myself, and I.
Well, what about what we forget? Sorry,
just like at work now.
Hang on, just before Dish and Tea goes, just before Dish and Tea,
I would type an email and I will let it sit.
Yeah. Dish and Tea with D. Next time I'm live, come up and tell me about your channel, because you've tagged me in one or two things, and I heard you on someone else's channel saying some really good things earlier on, a few hours back. So yeah, you're welcome to jump on my channel. Even I reckon I could extend that to Auntie Leah's as well. I really liked a few things that you were saying, and I think Temper dropped. I think Temper, you dropped Dish and Tea with D's link.
Yeah.
So Leah,
I have.
Mm-hmm.
She's good people.
So Leah is saying, so the bully becomes empowered. Yeah. So the bully becomes empowered by people letting it go unanswered.
Well, and that is,
you snatch the bully's power.
Yeah, but this is the current problem that we're all dealing with the Empire Strikes Back, with the strikes. So in a way, yes, Leah, and maybe this is where subscribers almost have got the power of the people behind them to do something about it more than the content creators, because if we speak out about it, we can get struck. It's very strange. So we have to really watch what we say, watch
I'm
what
just
we show.
Say this.
Go on.
Okay. Online bullying, cyberbullying, things of that nature. It's not. It's the same, kind of, but not really the same. If the bully was in your presence every day at school, at work, you have physical contact with this bully. You know what I mean? You can block out the bully online.
Yeah.
It's hard to block out the bully at work because you have to work with this individual. It's hard to block out the bully at school because you have to work with this individual. They're not 100% the same. You have an option to not engage. You have an option online, just cut the person off. It's different than your bully being in your face every day. Then you have to fight back, right? You have to take up for yourself. You have to stand up. But when the bully is not in your face, but it's on the internet, you can choose to block the bully out and don't give a crap about what the bully is saying. I'm not going to go back and forth with them online. Not online. Come on. No. You're not in my presence. I have the option to hit a button. block. And that's what I'm going to elect to do, because somebody has to do it, or somebody's going to end up, right? Like Benny and his wife. Come on. It's not the same. It's not.
Now, if that's not a wake up call that we all needed, and it's not having the effect in the right areas, there's something wrong.
Very wrong. Very wrong.
And even when I got struck, and I was on the phone to my striker, I brought that couple up. I brought them up. I said, why are you doing this? You know, this is not the way to go in light of what's happened recently, you know, with the couple, you know.
Right, exactly.
Losing their life in Vegas. And it didn't seem to resonate, or it resonated in an adverse way. I don't, it's strange. It is a bit like being in some strange Marvel movie at the moment.
You know what it is too? I see it as, like I said earlier, if you're not being able to identify things, that's like a half of the problem. But if you, as a person, if you see it and you see it for what it is, like, you have that call to make. That's up to you. But I take it as DMX says, if someone reveals who they are, take it, believe it, but go with it. That's who they are, especially if they're telling you it.
Yep, and showing you.
Yeah, like what more do you need? Like you take up a stick and hit a dog once or twice. If he sees you with that stick coming, he's not going to sit there. If he have the option to move, he is going to move.
Yeah.
So don't let the animal, like we literally showing like the animals are smarter than us. Like they use more common sense than us.
Some of them, yep.
Yeah. And it's so sad to say that some of us can't even be like the Sphinx. Yep. Let our human nature rise up above our animalistic quality, because we've been so conditioned, whether it's because of childhood traumas or hurt or in some type of way. These same grown-ups we're looking at are some of these same bullies that we had to deal with in high school. Some of these same bullies that we have to deal with in real life. Like, this is who they are. And to me, the hardest thing to ignore as a content creator, which I see everyone falling in line with, is the same side chat fueling you up. Oh, did you hear what Auntie Leah say about Nick? Nick, did you hear what Auntie Leah say about you? Then you're going to say, what did they say about me? And here it goes.
Right.
But the difference is, the difference with me is I actually don't care. I'm like, I don't have the energy for that. Like, whatever. They're gonna talk, you know. And
can't have my energy.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
And the energy stealing, the thing is real, because whether it's positive, negative, salacious, stink, not, they just sucking it all up like a vacuum. So it is what it is when someone like that reveals that I am a messy person. I love gossip. I love the tea. I don't love tea. I love coffee.
I haven't got any coffee, so I have to have tea at the moment. I'm just saying. Now, I just want to. Something else dawned on me, because things dawned on me, and you know how there's a certain mummy being called, you know, an Egyptian one. Now, it dawned on me just now when I was sitting here that must have reverberated in my mind, the calling of it. And I've actually been to Egypt. Oh, it was because you said about the Sphinx, right?
Yeah.
So I've actually touched the Sphinx, and I've been, you know, I attempted to walk down in the big pyramid, but I turned around, and I've been to the Valley of the Kings, where a lot of these entities are. And maybe every time that's called, it's calling something in me, because I've been to ground zero of said person, who I'm not willing to call. Yeah, I have, Mark. Yeah,
and the thing about it, Nick, I've never seen. Sometimes cutting on this app makes you feel like you're in those old, those old
Right.
drive movie theaters where the projection screen.
Mm-hmm.
I've
And the
never
big
seen. I've seen more projection. I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the bully today. Tomorrow, you're the bully. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
enabler today. Tomorrow, or
Right.
you're the enabler. I'm
Yep.
the. I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? Like, what? Also, sometimes I might be like, I'd be like, wow. Shouldn't there shouldn't there be like some type of requirement to
Right.
even like have a channel that like
You know
to be
what, Temper?
responsible to your
You have to.
viewers? It's so much deeper than just running some BS out here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's what we call
Yep.
going tit for tat. I mean, that stuff ended in my teenage years, early teenage years, to not going tit for tat with anybody at my big old age. That
Nope.
stuff needs to be left in the undeveloped brain, not the fully adult brain.
Yep.
Going tit for tat is what they did, and then one of them, because of the tit for tat, going back and forth, striking each other's channels, blah blah blah, unalive the
Mm-hmm.
other couple. It's just
Yep.
was senseless, and
Mm-hmm.
so that shows us where these one of the parties just won't wake up and say, "Okay, I'm done." They can say what they want to say, block them, move on. If I had the option to block a bully in real life instead of standing up to him, in real life, if we're in the same, you know, in the same presence of each other all the time, I would push that button instead.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's why it's so hot. That's why it's so easy to do good. And
First
it's,
of all, I'm too old to
it's
fight.
so hard to do good and easy to do bad. Real talk. That's how I see it. That's what makes it so easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get some
Yep.
things out there because the reality is, people watching, people see it. And like I say, we all talk about healing the world and making it a better place and blah, blah, blah. And, all that good stuff, lean on me. But
Mm-hmm.
when we look at our actions, like it's really not lining up. So we can't talk about anything other than this. Then that means when you do decide to run some other route, at the end of the day, you are a hypocrite. At the end of the day, the seeds of discord that you have sown, you got to go through those same seeds. And that's what I see. It's some of the hardest things for some of these content creators to do is to actually sit down and make amends. Sit down and flip the script. Sit down and humanize themselves. Be real.
Mm-hmm.
Be transparent. Because at the end of the day, lies only go so far. You only could get so much traction so far. But when the reality spins back, it isn't
Right.
going to be pretty. It is not pretty, like how you said earlier, Antilia, with those content creators. When the reality side flip back, those same seeds of discord that you were sowing, those are the same trees you got to now walk through to find your way. So you could do something right. If you plan to do something, just do it right one shot.
Yeah. Yep.
And if everyone think like this, if everyone move like this, I mean, you may not have a better world in one day, but be the change you want to see. In other words, start within
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yep. Yep.
What Mark says, nothing on his name,
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you always got something up your sleeve. But that's all I want to really present.
Mm-hmm.
Life is no game. You don't get no free man when you mess up. You might get an
Not
opportunity.
Maya. It's Maya. Whose name smells? Oh God. Maya is always acting up.
You see why I laugh. But yeah,
Temper's
man.
name. You hitting on my nephew Maya.
No. On John.
But, but
John's
seriously,
name.
like life, you don't get no free man like in
Girl,
Mario.
always being nefarious. You and
Yeah,
Cat, where
yeah, I miss Kid Kat, but Cat wherever you are, more love to you. Be safe out there. But yeah, you don't get no free man in this life.
yeah.
You don't. Very rarely you get a second chance. And some people, like I remember my friend Unky. Unky said as a young man, he do all the traction he want, all the ramping and raging and the galleon he want. But
Mm-hmm.
something happened to him because he used to like to put the bottle to his head, and he ended up having a severe stroke that left him. He could have walked, but not like how he used to. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of his hands, he lose use of it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And one of the things he like kind of showed me is like, boy, when you have that strength, you better use it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, when he say, God give me a second chance.
Yep.
He said, I ain't how I used to be, but I could talk
Yep.
and I see my mistakes, and
Count your
I just want to
blessings.
be a better I just want to be a better person now. And he
Mm-hmm.
passed away with that type of mind frame, you know?
Yep. And he lived a good life because of it.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so on his behalf, he got a second chance to rewrite some of the foolishness or some of the legacy he left on earth.
He
But
learnt his lesson.
for some people, they don't even get that opportunity.
Yeah.
You get your long rope, and when you reach that catch
Right.
and that rope yack back, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's you.
Yep.
So it's all about acknowledging the times and realizing what it is. And life is about balance. Each one teach one, each one reach one, each one strengthen one.
Yep.
So with that in mind, that's all I bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
If I can help you in some way,
That's
with
right.
either a kind word or some type of form of upliftment, then my job is complete. That's all I came to do. Leave my footprint, plain and
Yep.
simple.
I'll show you to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agreed too.
Yeah. So if anything else to add. I think the message kind of get through loud and clear. Realize, and ain't everyone built from that way or cut from that cloth. Some of us actually have a purpose.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. And I like to talk calmly. I don't like to enter into screaming matches, so that's a difficult thing to find. And I always find it with you guys. There's never any screaming, which I really appreciate.
I call it
You
screaming
have a
thing.
lot
I
more
call it
patience than I
loud
do,
talking.
Yeah.
Nick.
What was that, Auntie Lee?
Mm-hmm. I said you have a lot more patience than I do. I do have a little patience, but you can hold your for a long period of time. A lot longer than Auntie can. I'll let you slide maybe once, maybe twice, but I don't know. I'm just gonna try my best not to, get into it, talk about it, whatever, and move on. But sometimes I have to say what I say and say I said what I said.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I commend you, Nick. I commend you.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all, Nick
Well,
called me auntie yesterday.
I called you niece
Huh?
because
I ain't
I'm older.
getting
So
between that.
Yes.
That's a Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant type match. I ain't getting in between that.
Right.
yeah,
But listen, I was
I
like,
pulled rank.
okay, yeah, you got it, Nick. You can call me
Yeah,
niece on this particular situation. Yes,
yeah, I pulled rank
I
on you
did.
because I'm 4 years older than you. And I'm like, oh, hang on a second, hang on, hold up.
Well, not joking, to me, life is about challenges. And
Mhm.
if you're a well-rounded person, no perspective or challenging question should be able to knock you off your pedestal. Although
Correct.
that's something we like to do, like find a way in to bring someone down. But for me, the
Mm-hmm.
more complicated your question, the more I realize your need for answers. So even within your questions, I could tell your need. So yeah, ain't everyone is that one to cross, but You come across a good one. Even with the name Temple, I earned that. And you don't want to know how I earned that, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I have a narcissistic character. That doesn't mean I'm a nasty person or I let my emotions get the best of me. I just
Yep.
have a temper when it comes to BS. I allergic to it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, if I smell it, I break out. From I smell bullshit, I break out in tears or in sweats or I get hives on my skin.
I hear
So,
you.
but yeah, that's the reality, man. And then for me to be able to speak to everyone the way I doing it now, it's like, yeah, just want to show you that I am a real person. Life is for real, and in this life, when you mess up, this ain't no game. You don't get to press the reset button. There is no
Right.
reset button.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make do with what you did. Where you blow you where you catch your cold, you blow your nose.
Uh-huh.
In reality.
It was you that said it. See?
Yeah, Nick, it was me. Where you catch your cold, you blow your nose. That's what the elders used to say. Where you
Yep.
make your bed, you lay in it.
Yep. And see, the elders everywhere. It doesn't matter what race you are, what nationality you are, where you were born, what color you are, right? So elders are elders, and my elders were all from Northern Ireland. So they're full of sayings like that. Full of sayings like that.
Oh yeah.
I grew up with sayings like that. Oh, and the other thing that now let me see if I can find it, because I'm gonna help Nafisa with something. She said, "Oh, there's this thing, I can't remember it," and I know what she was talking about. Let me just give me one moment, because I'm sure that somebody somewhere will be watching this, and the message will get back to where it came from. Right. Yeah. The strength. Where is it? It's the saying about God give me the strength.
You mean the prayer of serenity or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
To change the things I can't and
Yeah, that
from
one.
the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah, that one. Give me this. Yeah.
Right.
To accept, yeah, here we go. And she was trying to read it out say it to Golden, but she couldn't remember it. So yep, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So that's for you, Nafisa. If you're listening or watching, I'm going to read it one more time. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Right.
These are the words that I grew up with. You know, these were things that were on a plaque on the wall in my grandmother's house. I could read these every time I went to her house.
I have a friend, when I go by his house, the first sign you see is when you come here, what you hear here, what you see here, what you do here, let it stay here or else don't come back here.
I like it. I love it.
We always talk about that. It's like, where you get the sign from? He said, I can't tell you. I be like, why? That means you could get one too. Yeah, but that's those old sayings they was put in place for a reason, you know.
Yep.
And
Of course.
if we go back and look at some of them, you may call some of them prophets, but some of those sayings apply like right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like
that's right. They're ageless. They're timeless.
Right now.
mm-hmm.
And here's it's the same thing, you know, when you see people trying to change someone, or you get into a relationship knowing this person doesn't have the same morals or value as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're being unequally yoked. and you're trying to change that person, but you can't change that person. That person has to change themselves. Try maybe once or twice to try to change something, but at the end, to protect your peace, you try, and then if it doesn't work, you have to let it go.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
You have to let
That's
it
like
go.
that old
Eventually,
saying.
just let it go.
Take the
You
horse
stop
to the
trying,
well, but you don't have to drink.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. And to put a twist on that, you taking your time out of your day to take that horse to the well, but who tell you that horse thirsty?
Exactly.
You know what?
You cannot tell when a horse is thirsty. I used to own a horse. Yep.
So that's like trying to teach someone who doesn't want to learn. Like, you wasting your time. Like Auntie Leah just said,
Yep.
wanting to change is something that's like a personal conviction. You have to feel that from within. Like, that got to be like resting on your conscience to say, well, I need to do better. This isn't right. And until you get to that point, it is what it is.
But you can't project outwards and say, I need others to do better. That can only be answered by you. I need to do better. You can't push that on other people. You can try.
Yeah. Correct.
That's
Got
true.
to start with. It's got to start with you.
It really has to.
You can always try, but you got to at some point let it go, right?
Yeah.
It's like we forget about these little sayings. I know I can be what I want to be if I work hard with it. If I work hard at it, we forget these little things. The more we pull together, even the army saying, "Be all you can be." What about be about what you're saying rather than just saying it? Don't sing it, bring it.
Yeah. When now I've got something, I just got my things out of storage, and I've got a box here that's got my things from when I was little, right? Now, one of my favourite things to do was to write down proverbs and sayings, like proverbs and quotes. I loved them when I was a little kid. I was addicted to them. So you've opened that can of worms now, Temper. You realise that, yeah?
Yeah, shoots. Boy, when we said some of them old sayings when you see your Grammy spit on the ground and you gotta go down the road and come back and she tell you better come back before that dry. When you hear things like that,
Right.
Oh well.
you wherever it is you going, you trying to double time that. And when you coming back, you trying to triple time that because you saying, I don't want that spit dry. I mean, you ain't nothing gonna happen to you, but it's just the fact that you have something to keep you in line to say, well, you have a reason to be back. Be back before this dry. And even when she stopped doing that, it's like it teach you how to go where you're going and come back. Don't get lost. Don't get distracted. You ain't going to hang out. Go where you're going. I sent you out. Go and come back.
Yep.
And it would seem a little hard when I was running. Be like, boy, Grammy, they're spinning wrong. Boy, I gotta try. And then Grammy in her room sleeping.
Yep.
Like that was just the reminder. So when it comes to them old sayings, yeah, you get plenty of them.
Oh, I love them, and I think they need to have a revival. That they're going to come back, and they're going to be heard again, and they're going to have. If people don't understand them, we'll make them understand them.
I give you another one, Nick. I heard a elderly man said this. He was on the side of the road and he was like, give me, lend me, can you spare me? It's a ruination everywhere. And I asked him, I said, say it again. He said, give me, lend me, can you spare me? It's a ruination everywhere. And I'm like, give me, lend me, can you spare me? I said, you mean that this is talk about lending people money? Or he said, boy, you hit the nail on the head. You say everyone could come to you. Oh, give me this. Oh, lend me that. But when you then cut off your nose and give it to them, you think they give you your nose? Then they're not going to give you your nose back.
Oh God, and yeah, they used to fascinate me. To cut off your nose to spite your face, that fascinated me for a long time. When I was a kid, I was like, what does that mean? Why would you cut your nose off?
That means
Like,
giving your last to someone when you
yeah,
need
right.
it.
Yeah, but it's when you're a kid, when you're a child, it takes a long time to
Yes. Absolutely,
understand
100%.
the real meaning of them, and that's why I used to write them down, because I was like, oh, I get that one, or I don't get that one, but I want to get it. Like one day I'll get it. I'll get it.
Hmm. And when you run that down, anytime someone talk, I mean, you got people who basically train that if you come in to talk to them, the minute your mind goes to talk about money, they can tell. Your whole continent switch, the whole attitude switch. If you run down those sayings, give me,
Yeah.
lend me, can you spare me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much lives that has ruined? Do you know how much friendships that's ruined? How much
Yeah.
relationships that ruined?
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
right back to that word, not being accountable. If I lend you something and you gave me a word that you're gonna give it back to me,
Mm-hmm.
keep your word and give it back to me. You don't
Right.
know where you don't know where what I gave you coming from. But
Mm-hmm.
because I trust you that you have a need and it's really, really genuine, I'm gonna help you. Now, if
Now,
you turn around and jam me over like peanut butter, then like I say, that on you. But you could never ask me for nothing again.
Right.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And is it the same? I want some crowdfunding for the answer, and I just mean funding as in your brain. Um, uh, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Can someone help me with that one?
Ooh. Is it a real friend?
I don't know.
Mm.
It's such a
That's a good
simple,
one. Yeah.
yeah, and I want to know. I want to know. Is it nefarious, or is
Mhm.
it only a friend in need is a friend indeed? Is it? I want to know.
Well, if you're a real friend and you
Mm,
know you have a real friend and you
mm-hmm,
are in need,
mm-hmm,
I mean, I would
Mhm.
help you. Not because you're a friend and you're in need. I mean, a friend in need is a friend indeed. No, that don't really work with me.
yeah.
That don't
Sorry.
really work with me. Because
Mm.
I'll see. I mean, I know it's a reality,
That doesn't
but
even make sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Mhm.
meant to be to provoke deep thinking.
But you know something? Even within the confines of the lodge, right? They have their signs that they show for the
Mhm.
stress. That
Mhm.
members, that if you have a problem or if you in need of some cash, there is a certain sign that you can make with your body. You could fix
Mm-hmm,
your position yourself in a certain way. And any brother of that
Mhm.
lodge that sees you recognize that, hey, you have a need.
mm-hmm,
And they're going to stop to you and they're going to talk to you and they're going to ask you a few questions based on, to initiate to see if you are who you are and not just someone who has a little bit of the knowledge and proposing or faking. But they would actually take you up on if it was your rent needed to be paid, or they would
mm-hmm.
literally help you. So understanding a friend in need is a friend indeed. To me that kind of comes from a brotherhood, kind of
Yeah.
like a brotherhood or organization kind of thing. But um,
Mhm.
the Bible says if you see a man in need, like how could you turn your bowels of compassion away from him?
Yeah, and this is
Right.
why I wanted to put it out to everyone, because you can view it in two ways, and so a friend in need is a friend indeed. Like, not everyone asks for help as well, so that's what you're saying, Temper. If you see that somebody needs the help and you help them, you know
Right.
that yeah, I don't know, it's but I'll get to the bottom of what whoever wrote it and what it meant, what they meant by it.
I mean, because when I say, okay, if you're looking at the fact that we all under the understanding that each one teach one, and no man
Mhm.
is an island,
Yep. Yep.
And within that perspective, that could fly straight across the board.
Yep.
Because if you're a friend of life, if you're a friend of justice, if you're a friend as even a real person standing up for yourself, and if I see you as that, and if you're in need, I mean, it only should be accredited to the fact that indeed I should help you. Indeed, I should not want to see you suffer.
Right.
Yep.
If you are a real friend.
Have a look in the comments. We've got some.
Right.
Mahat says one must use discernment. I tell my comment just disappeared just now. What a bitch.
One must use discernment on that, the balance thing again.
One must use discernment on that. The balance thing again, because folks are hungry in this post-COVID. Now the comments gone.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, Mahat, you have to use.
Folks are hungry in this post-COVID economy.
Yeah, in life, everything is about discernment. You got to be in tune with yourself. When I say in tune, knowing who you are as a person, because I don't want you to think the media is your friend. The media only feeds subliminal messages to you. Even the fact that you find yourself almost on a program. Like for some people, when they get up, the first thing you want to do is turn on the TV. The first thing they want to do is turn on the radio. The first thing they want to do is turn on the phone to see, rather than just saying, Father, give thanks for a brand new day. Give thanks for life and all the good things that come with it. Allow me to, be free today. Guide me and protect me from all unseen harm and danger. That's all I ask. They don't do that. They tune straight into the thing that feeds them. So discernment right now, even within your life, you have to be able to discern what is good and what is bad for you. You can't just go home and drink milk all day. You can't just go home and eat bread all day. So even in discernment, even within that discernment, even when it comes to people who you help, who you deal with, it's discernment too. Because it ain't like you have some people who ain't willing to go to that length to get at you, or won't be willing to go to that length to set you up. So, yeah, discernment is within everything. But it's up to you to have that true discernment. And the only way to have that is to be true to yourself. What you wouldn't accept, don't give to no one else. What I wouldn't you do to you, don't do it to me.
Agreed.
So, Ma, you good with that? Did I go mute? Anyone could hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. I just heard my phone make a funny sound just now. I was like, what?
I can hear you, Temper.
Yeah. So that's how it is, though.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this one thing, and whoever want a closing remark, that's cool. If there's anything I'll teach y'all, one shot, as I say, well, something I've learned and something I feel is applicable to life is the word watch. WATCH. And watch your walk, watch your actions, watch your talk, watch your character, and watch your habits. WATCH. A friend of mine who taught me that, he passed away now. But up to this day, I still hold that because it's a guideline for when you out. It's a guideline for your spirit. It's a guideline for you. It teaches you like how far to go. It teaches you discernment, because if you got to watch your walk, that means you have to be conscious of where it is you're walking, where it is you're going, what it is you're going to in a rush with your feet to partake in, because sometimes that could be the last walk you walk. Watch your actions. People are watching what you say. People are watching what you do. People are watching and waiting to criticize you. Because for some reason, that's the way the world works. We don't believe in upliftment unless we can pull down. Watch your talk. Goes right back to the same thing. Let the words of your mouth and the meditation of your heart be acceptable, even to those around you, because you could just walk in a building, say the wrong thing, and piss the whole room off. So you want to be mindful of the things that you say out of your mouth. Like, I wouldn't say certain things in the chat if I believe it would offend somebody, or if I believe I morally stepping on someone's compass. I wouldn't do that. So my character, it would have to line up with the same thing: walking, actions, and talking. Now, my habits, that's a part of me that I have to deal with. So I have to watch my habits. If my habit is bringing down people, I better stop that, because as I do to others, someone can do to me.
Yeah.
If my habits mean ripping down and
That's right.
creating chaos, well, that's something I have to personally seek conviction over. I have to personally seek the Almighty on that to change my heart and change my ways. So that's it right there. Like, that's what my friend taught me. Watch, WATCH, and when he put the words there, I'm like, I never thought about that. Stop.
And isn't that where it comes in when you don't watch, that your reputation precedes you?
Yeah. So these eyes, these may be the window to the soul, but these eyes see everything, even when the mind denies it. The eyes recognize it. So you can't fool your eyes, even if you try to.
That's right.
So yeah, guys, I'm glad everyone came out, and thanks for the support. Like Hannibal would say, I love it when a good plan comes together. I enjoy spending time with you guys, and
Same.
it's all love. Nick is all love. Chat is all love. And thanks for having me. And thanks for being here.
You're very welcome. Thanks for
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I like to be surrounded by good peoples.
Same temper.
Yeah.
So guys, we
yeah, Auntie Leah, you still doing your thing this evening, right?
yeah, we will be on live tonight, and the topic is the early life of Tupac Shakur. So please, if you are not subscribed to my page, please subscribe to my page, and please subscribe to Nick's page. The live will start at 7:40 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully you guys can make it. Nick will be on panel. Temper may or may not be able to come up, but he is a moderator, so he'll be in the chat.
Yeah, Auntie Leah, looking forward to that live. I'm looking forward to that. I know you can send me down memory lane, but
yeah,
gotta love me some Pac. Gotta love me some Pac.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely. I might get a little emotional.
Well, we're there for you, Auntie Leah.
Thanks, not joking to me. Thanks, Marla.
It will be a hard one.
Yes.
You could get through it, Annie. I got faith in you. You could get through it.
And Temper, can you share Auntie Leah's live in a post on your channel so that your subscribers know where to go as well?
Not a problem, Nick. Not a problem. Well, everyone, this evening is going to be kicking it at Auntie Leah.
Look at my. Yeah. Hey guys, look at my thumbnail. It's a special person that's on that thumbnail that you all may have never seen. Somebody's on that thumbnail, guys.
How did that get?
Close attention to the photos.
Let me have a look. And before we go, Temper, there's something sitting there ready to present in the back there.
Okay.
And it's the nature sounds in the video.
Yeah, Nick, I would like for everybody to hear that. Like, welcome to the Down Under. That's something I could wake up to and just hear.
I'm going to share. I'm going to copy. Well, it's there for you to play. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's what I wake up to every morning.
Well, you got you. That's a serious. That's a clear. That's a serious cloud bed.
Oh
That look
yeah.
like one big mattress on the sky.
Mm-hmm. But there's so many bird sounds.
Yeah.
So who's which? What do you think is doing the growling?
There's some crows.
Like y'all get crows too?
Yeah.
Is that Australia,
Yep.
Nick?
Yeah, that's Australia. Yep, that's out the front of my house.
Ah,
God
There's
damn! What a
wow.
beautiful sunrise, eh?
there's some farm equipment there. There's an engineering place, but sometimes I hear cows when there's a full moon. I hear all of the cows because they can see clearly. And sometimes when there's a full moon and they are near giving birth, they all go into spontaneous birth. And I have never in my life heard so much noise. It went for hours and hours and hours of cows mooing, giving birth, mooing, giving birth. I was like, what planet am I on? What is this place? What's going on here?
That's what I was looking at when I was listening. That's when I was listening to that. I'm like, hold on, I could not go camping over there in no bush, you know, because to hear some of those things moving like, rah,
Right.
rah, I'm like, what the hell? No, 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 no,
Oh, the growl. So the things that growl are our possums, our Tasmanian devils, our koalas, and I don't know
Oh,
what else.
so some actually made it to the mainland.
No, there's no Oh, there probably are in some zoos over here. The Tasmanian devils.
Okay, I got one question. How do they move, Nick? Because although I know how they move, but in the cartoon, you know, they do the little twirly, twirly, twirly thing. Is there anything? Is there anything about them that resembles that when they do something?
No, I don't. I don't think so. Maybe when they get into a fight with each other, they might spin around a lot. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
I don't because I don't live in that part of Australia. I don't know enough about them. And that sounds weird, but Australia is a huge place. It's enormous. East coast to west coast, it's as wide as the east coast to the west coast of America.
Mm-hmm.
It's that big. It's
Mhm.
huge.
Beautiful. And with all that type of wildlife, trust me.
Wow.
Yep. And
Welcome to the down
yeah,
under.
I mean, oh, and temper.
So,
I'm gonna work on something so I can show you and show me and show everyone how the sun hits the earth and what goes on and show and show Kat the wobble.
So I looking straight ahead. That look like the sun coming up straight
mhm.
and straight in the middle,
Yep,
right?
straight in the middle, but it starts off over to the right. So it takes a
Okay.
while. Yeah, because the earth spins. The earth spins.
So like I said, Nick, you way around the corner.
I'm down. I'm way down under, and I saw a globe. You know the 3D globe of the world, and they had a person sitting on it, and they were sitting on like the right hand side of the earth, and they were sitting on it correctly, and I'm like, yep, and that's how we all look. We're all upright, but we're all
Mhm.
pointing in different directions. I should
Yeah,
be
that's
I should be hanging down from my feet, because of the direction that I'm in. But when we walk outside, we all stand upright. So,
Mhm.
and you know it's another crazy thing. Okay, so when the sun pass over for your evening to your from your morning to your evening, right? And it
Right.
goes down behind you. Now you
yep,
cost me I gotta go look on the map and see who is it gonna be morning for next. Because I think
yeah.
that's like a whole I don't know I can't remember which nations are wrong on that back side, but then it comes right back around to
There
my
we go.
side for east and
and,
for east rise in the morning.
and Martha just put put three versions of the globe in the comments, right?
Okay.
And the first one,
That's North America. South America.
Yep. And the second one
That's
looks
Africa.
like it's got most of Africa. And then the third one, you can see Australia is down the bottom right-hand corner there.
Right. So that means when the sun goes round, Canada and all on those sides there, they get that first sunrise.
No. Yes. No. No, they're behind me. No, this is what breaks my brain.
Hold on. If North America, South America, Canada on the top. Canada's up on the top. So when that sun goes around the back and comes around the front, it'll be coming to the first globe with my other post in a comment. So that would mean that side of the world gets the early rise. So time as the sun comes over.
So New Zealand gets the first sun, a bit of the sun, and who decided that? How do we know that's true? How do we know? How do we know it's not you guys? How do we know that how can you prove that we're in the future and you guys are in my yesterday? I don't buy anything.
You
listen.
That's a sausage. I can't debate that one. Yeah. I can't debate that.
I can't either.
I almost bite my tongue just now.
Who made it so? Who said?
I'm not debating it.
No, but who said? How can we have to believe? Who said that the first bit of the sun hits New Zealand first, then Australia, and then who said it goes in that order? I don't get it. We have to believe what we're told with all that stuff, and my brain just goes
absolutely right.
Prove it.
That's why we got to deprogram ourselves.
Yep.
Man, you joking, Nick? I had one of the biggest arguments with my daughter yesterday. She arguing with me that spy ninjas is real.
Spy ninjas? What's a spy ninja?
This show on YouTube for kids. I mean, she is arguing with me. What? Daddy, look, see the fire? See the fire, Daddy? The fire in the building, not real. And I'm like, oh my Lord, little girl.
But you know what?
Oh my.
How old is your daughter?
No, she's 11 years old. But I've never had that discussion with her on this topic. So it was like kind of awkward for me. She's like, this and that about spy ninjas. I'm like, what? And she was talking to me, and I joined in the conversation until I was like, hold on, what the hell are you talking about? Spy. And I look at the show, I'm like, no, baby girl, this is just for entertainment. I thought you was talking about a real life event. I said, no, baby girl, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Like, but look, I say, come, boo boo. Let me enter you into the world of green screen. Say, what is a green screen? I'm gonna show you right now. And after a half an hour conversation, she was like, well, I didn't even know that. I say, well, I'm so glad we had this conversation.
Yeah.
So it's just like some adults know how to pick fiction from reality. But Annie, you got some work ahead of you. Nick, we got some planning to do.
Yep.
We all get a little bit of homework.
But it's good that you let her express herself. That's actually really good.
So, with that, thanks for coming, everyone. Auntie, Nick, you're all always welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone. And this is what Spooky Event is all about. When you realize, you realize.
You say happy Sunday, and I say grand rising. It's 3:14 a.m. on Monday. You see?
Oh, Nick, you just burst my bubble. God,
sorry.
Happy Monday, Nick. You always in the future, though.
But am I?
It's so sad we always got to bring you back to the past.
Well, who said she's on Monday?
And everyone says, don't look backwards, but I do every day to talk to you guys.
That's so strange. Why you? But yeah, because you on the other half of the world, yeah, we gotta call it a different day. You ain't lie.
It's weird.
But
Yeah, you can, not joking to me. My email address is on my channel. Living in the past to us. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can find my email address if you click on my channel and look at the about or the more section and scroll down. You'll find it. Anyone can send me an email. Go for it. So from the future, I bid you good things in the past. I don't know.
that's a good one.
Right.
So, Auntie Leah, we'll be looking forward to linking up with you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you pull up that thumbnail? Because I really want I want them to see who's on this thumbnail.
Oh, I can do it. Maybe I can do
Just
it.
for a minute. Somebody
Yep.
pull up the thumbnail.
Yep. Give me 2 seconds. Share this stream. What's going on? Right.
Well, I don't eat meat, Mary. I hope you bring in fish to the table. I hope that's the bone you're gonna pick. What's up, Rezzy?
Oh, hello, Mary. Mary.
Mary,
Hey,
quite
Mary.
confident.
All right. Let me share this screen. I'll get Temper to put it up.
Nayat. Happy Sunday, Monday.
Happy Sunday, Monday. All right, here we go.
I want to see if you guys can spot who I'm talking about.
I'll make this bigger. No, I can't make it bigger.
Sad face.
Let's see.
Rezzy, didn't you get the notification?
Nick. You got to get it alive.
Oh,
Rezzy?
sorry, Mary. I thought I did.
Rezzy, I thought I sent you some great
Okay, guys, look
coupon.
at the
Didn't
people
you?
on the thumbnail. Hey, who do you
All right,
see
let's see what's up.
that you've never seen?
What the hell? Why I can't see the
Who?
on TV?
Who do you see that you've never seen on that thumbnail? You've heard the person, but you've never seen the person.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
Well,
Anybody?
who have we got? We got two pack. We got Auntie Leah. We got
There next to
Odell, Jag.
Yeah.
Natanya. We've got me, and we've got Jamie Zach. I'm so sorry, Mary.
Yes, you.
Me? I'm on that thumbnail, guys.
Yes. Yes, you. Yeah. You're the person that they've never seen. Yeah.
I'm down the bottom.
Nick's mountain goat. She's showing her face. Yay, Nick. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Nick at night and Nick at day.
Nick in the future. Nick
Yes,
off.
ma'am.
Picnic.
Ah. Yeah.
Picnic. We go picnic, all right. But yeah, looking forward.
And hang on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a battle with there's something about Mary. Now, Mary, I did share it on a post on my community wall long time before this live went live. No, I'm not camming up yet. I've got to get a green screen. I'm doing a renovation in my house, and I need to have a nicer background. I'm not concerned about my face. I'm concerned about my background, so I need a green screen. But I'll get it sorted out one day.
Yeah, I got one or two little things. I setting up a little studio kind of thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where I want to be. I don't want docs my room type of stuff. But everything will be cool in a minute.
Yeah, just takes a minute. You know, we're only new. We're only new to what we're doing and going live. So
New, but also moving in the right direction.
Right.
yeah, for sure.
That's
For
what's
sure.
most important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Auntie, you ready?
I've actually seen Nick before, but
Yeah, and so's Mary.
I'm ready. I am
Mm.
ready.
Mary's seen me before too, and she complains every time. I don't even cam up when I'm talking to Mary or talking to Auntie Leah. You know why? I have a little bit of it's residual trauma from the pandemic when we were all camming up on our video calls and group
Gotcha.
calls and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just, and I really detest holding my phone. I
It's
detest
okay.
it.
It's in due time. You don't have to. You have to be.
Yeah.
Well, everything, like you say, everything takes
Go
time, you
ahead,
know.
Nick.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Okay.
That the proposal.
You wanna shut it down? We're done.
All right. Well, like I say, thanks for coming, y'all. Auntie Leah, we'll be heading to you in a few hours. Nick, enjoy the
Yep.
vibe. Chat, thanks for coming.
And
Happy day, everyone. See y'all later.
see ya. Bye for now.
All right. See you later. Have a good day, everybody. See
Hey
you
guys.
later.
See ya.